When working with data in a relational database, it is often necessary to perform calculations to gain insights and summarize information. This is where aggregate functions in SQL come into play. They allow you to compute various statistics such as sums, averages, counts, and more directly from your dataset, making it easier to analyze and understand your data. If you look up the current documentation of PostgreSQL, which at the recording of this video is gonna be version 16, you're going to find the definition: an aggregate function computes a single result from multiple input rows. I think this is a great definition, but it might sound a little bit confusing to you. You see, when you use a aggregate function by itself in the select clause on a particular column, you will get back a single value. For example, I'm going to go to pgadmin, which is a database management system for PostgreSQL. Now we are in pgadmin 4, and I have the question, what is the average price of our products? Well, to do that, you're going to do select, and the aggregate function for average is going to be avg, and because it's a function, we use parentheses. And we have been working with this database for a while, so I know that the price is going to be in the column that is named unit price. So unit price from products, semicolon. We're going to go ahead and execute the script. And this is the average of our products. And this is correct. You will get a single value. But with a single value, we don't have that much context. So imagine seeing this value without any background or idea of the table we are working with. What if you wanted to get the average of products per supplier? I will leave that one for homework for when you're done watching this video. You see, the thing is that aggregate functions are used to aggregate data, which means grouping data. Therefore, we usually use aggregate functions in conjunction with the group by clause. Remember from the last video that when using the group by clause, each row is unique. So you can think of each row as a separate group. When you use an aggregate function with the group by clause, the function performs a calculation on each group. And that's why the definition, an aggregate function computes a single result from multiple input rows, makes sense, because for each group, meaning each row, we get a result. Now that we understand that, let's work on the other examples I have here. So I have this example, and let me fix this. So I have here a request, and we're going to find this out by writing a SQL query. The request says, list the different job titles held by our customers along with the numbers of customers associated with each title. Sort the list in ascending order. First, I want to see the columns in the table. So to do that, as we learned, you're going to do select. We're going to do everything from, and the table is customers. Let's go ahead and see what columns we're working with. So I have this column here, which is the contact title, and I have owner, and I have sales representative, and so on. What this is asking me is like, oh, how many customers held these job titles? So our SQL query is gonna go select contact title, And the aggregate function that we're going to use for this query is going to be count. And count is going to count how many owners, how many sub-representatives we have. So count everything from customers, and I'm going to do group by, group by. And as we learned in the last video, everything that is not an aggregate function that we put in the select clause, it must be in the group by clause. So contact title, and it is asking me to sort the list in ascending order. So I'm gonna do order by contact title. And ascending order is the default of the order by clause. However, I want to be a little bit more explicit and do ascending. So I can show you how to do that. Let's go ahead and execute the script. And here we see the count of the contact title, job titles that our customers held. So we have 10 accounting managers. We have 17 owners. For this one, we have a owner and a marketing assistant. So because the values in these columns are different, even though they both have the word owner, the value is still different. So that's why the owner slash marketing assistant is no count in the owner count. Okay, let's go to the next one. And let me go ahead and move to the next line so we can see better. And we have here, list the supplier IDs along with the most expensive and cheapest prices of the products they supply. I want to see the products table one more time. So to see everything, all the columns in the product table, we're gonna do products table, not the product table. We're going to do select everything from products, semicolon, and let me see what we're working with. So it says to list the supplier IDs. So I know I'm gonna have that in my select clause. So let me go ahead and do supplier ID. And for the most expensive and the cheapest prices, we're gonna do max, which is short for maximum, max unit price, and you guessed it, min, which is short, you guessed it, short for minimum, unit price. I'm going to group by supplier ID. Finally, the request is asking me to sort the list in descending order. So to do that, we're gonna do order by supplier ID descending. And this is short for descending. So this query is gonna satisfy this request. Let me go ahead and show you. And here we see that the supplier ID 29, the most expensive product that this supplier provides is going to be $49.3. And the cheapest that they supply is going to be 28.5. If I scroll down, the supplier with ID number 1 The most expensive item is gonna be 19 and the minimum is gonna be 10. Finally, let's go to the next one. This should be a simple one. It is asking me how many products do we have in stock in total. So that should be easy. We only gonna have one value, and I want to explain something after we do this one. For this one, we're gonna do select some units in stock from products. Let me go ahead and execute the query. So we give this number. Something that I want to explain is the difference between sum and count. So for sum, you only can use sum for columns that have numeric value because it's going to perform a summation of those numeric values. However, when it comes to count, the type that the column is, that's not going to matter because it's just going to count the rows. So again, the key difference between those two is going to be that sum is going to add up the values of a specific numeric column. And on the other hand, count is going to count the rows. It could be letters, it could be strings, it could be anything that is not a number. The function count is going to work with that because it's counting the rows. However, sum is the one that is going to go ahead and add up the values of a specific numeric column. I hope that now you feel confident using the aggregate functions. We went through the 5 most common used aggregate functions. These are definitely going to be in your SQL interview if you are interviewing for a SQL exam. So with that said, this is the Database Dojo. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day.